Roronoa Zoro's family tree is probably up there as one of the biggest mysteries within the One Piece world, and we haven't seen a proper backstory that explains about his family. This sounds crazy when you see that Zoro has been around since the beginning of the story, being the first person to join Luffy's crew. But you don't have to worry about that, because in this video, I will explain Zoro's family tree and how it could potentially relate to the One Piece that everyone is after. So, let's first understand how Ryuma is related to Zoro. When you look at the family tree that was published by Oda in SBC, it is revealed that Zoro's grandmother, Shimotsuki Furiko, is the direct descendant of Ryuma. In case you didn't know, Ryuma appeared in the thriller Bark as one of Gecko Moria's zombie generals after being reanimated by his powers. He fought and lost to Zoro, but after learning that he was fighting his own ancestor, Ryuma gave him his legendary sword called Shusui, in which Zoro returns the blade to Ryuma's grave in the Wano arc. Recently, there is also a short series from Oda's one-shot manga, which he wrote before One Piece, that explores his journey, so if you haven't watched it, please check it out. But how is it related to Ryuma? Because Zoro is from an East Blue village, and Ryuma is from the Wano country. Well, 55 years ago, a group of people sailed through the ship from the Wano country, and in that ship was a woman named Shimotsuki Furiko, who also happens to be the grandmother of Roronoa Zoro. After arriving in the East Blue, they found a village and saved them from the bandits, which we now know as Shimotsuki Village. One of the samurai that was in this group was Shimotsuki Kosaburo. He was a great blacksmith who forged Enma, and we also learn in the Wano arc that he was kind of a mentor to Zoro. Kosaburo married a girl from the village and had a son named Shimotsuki Kushiru, who was the master of the dojo where Zoro trained. Kushiru then married a girl from the village and became the father of Kuina. And if anyone wants to know the relationship between Kuina and Zoro, they are both distant cousins. Now let's get back into Zoro's family tree. Shimotsuki Furiko married to a swordsman named Roronoa Pinzoro, whose name is very similar to Zoro's. But before that, let's talk about Furiko's younger brother, Shimotsuki Ushimaru, whom we saw in Yamato's flashback. While many thought he was Zoro's father, which is a fair interpretation because he looks very similar to Zoro, it turns out that he is Zoro's great uncle. He was also the daimyo of Ringo and died during Kaido's takeover of Wano. Now, let's talk about Zoro's parents. There isn't a lot of information about Zoro's father in the One Piece universe, with Oda only revealing that he died at some point before the beginning of the series fighting pirates in the East Blue, and that he had his son with a woman named Tara who died of an illness. She was the daughter of thieving bandits and most likely fell in love with Arashi. It isn't known if Tara died shortly after childbirth or if she raised Zoro until a certain point in time. Zoro then went on to study the way of the sword in the Shimotsuki dojo in the village, and it was there that he met his cousin, Kuina. While we only have this much information about the Shimotsuki, we can speculate on some things. For example, we might explore Zoro's backstory during the final, because we know that the Wano country has some connections to the One Piece treasure, which makes Zoro an important character in that part of that story. So because of that, we might get his backstory. Thank you guys for watching the video till now, and I will see you in the next video.